Yeah. In 3, 2, 1. Second civil guago. It is 6:02. I call this meeting to order. At this time, we're going to start off with opening address. I'm going to ask Chief Keisha to come up to open for us. During this time, I do ask that everyone please turn your phones to silent, just out of respect for the meeting and everyone here today.
Liwa Hodo, Akwego Oscar, I did offer at Nooney, now you got me for Donald Day, Dashet, Dino Lado, Na Sungway, Dizo, Disago, Dawada, Nippon Holius, Dano, Young Poya, the Gehas, Gino Hodo, Lawson, Ni, Lawson, Gini Galiwes, Owen Jagger, Deung Wat, Bella Wa, Le. Tonya Duhak Nan Guamigolas, to.
Yama Chief Keisha. Okay, so we are looking at our next item is council attendance. We do have Chief Lisa Benedict sending her regrets tonight. Everyone's here. And we're looking, our next item is a moment of silence. So we're gonna take a 30-second break here. Now, it's important to, whenever we gather, it's important to take time to stop and reflect and take that moment of silence for all of those that we lost and for all the families who are going through hardships right now, and to let them know that our hearts go out to them. Our next item is council agenda acceptance. So we have rules of order. We have our action items dated Kentenha, October 24th, 2004. Then we have presentations for communications protocol. And we have an update on the New York State lands claims. Our next item is business from the floor. Then we have resolution for the general meeting minutes dated Kentenha, October 24th, 2024. Announcement will be our holiday dinners. Then our adjournment, we'll have closing and motion to adjourn. Do we have a motion to accept the agenda? Chief Cindy, and to second. Chief Sarah? Discussion? All in hands? All in support? Carried. Okay. Our rules of order. So the general meetings are to occur the last Thursday of each month and will occur in each district on a rotating basis in Gawanoge, Ganadigo, and Jasnaina. The acceptance to this is when the general meeting cancellation protocol, MCR 2015/2016, number 260. In a fortunate circumstance where a community member passes in one of the 3 districts, the meeting will occur as regularly scheduled in the other 2 districts where the member did not reside. A moment of silence will also be taken in their memory. The general meetings are an opportunity for community members to hear information from council and assist council with issues that affect the community. The following general meeting rules were originally developed at a community general meeting in July of 2006. The principles for general meeting rules is based on respect for each other, and all attendees are expected to behave respectfully and professionally at all times. General meeting rules. Number 1, meetings will start at 6 p.m. and proceed to a maximum of 8 p.m., at which point the community will be asked if they choose to continue past 8 p.m. Number two, personal issues would not be dealt with in a public forum / general meetings. Personal items can be dealt with on an individual basis with council members or by appointment through the Mohawk Government Office. Number three, if you have questions or comments during the meeting, raise your hand and wait to be acknowledged. One of the communications staff will come to you. They do have wireless mics and they can come to you. When you do receive one of the mics, can you please state your name and your district for the record? Our next, number four, please keep questions and comments relevant to the point of order within the agenda and be considerate of time used. We are going to be looking at a 5-minute time slot. So when you have that, this is where you get that chance to ask your questions, make your statements, or ask for clarification, but use your time wisely. A list will be made of issues you wish to address the council, and if the answers cannot be provided at the current meeting, the issues will be taken back to council table for further discussion and follow-up. Action items. So looking at the action items from last month's general meeting, the first one, action item number 1. Could the Rogers flyer that was in the Indian Time newspaper be placed on the MCA website? This was something for Grand Chief to follow up with, and we did follow up with them. We were not able to get the exact flyer that was posted in the Indian Times. However, they are doing a new holiday flyer, and that's going to be posted out soon. When that flyer comes, it's going to be posted on the website as well. So keep an eye out for that. Number 2, can you share the information that was sent by ISK regarding the firehouse survey? That was a Grand Chief action item, and it was posted on October 2nd on Facebook and also on the MCA website. So you can find the information on there. And number 3, could the FNCFS information by COO be placed on the website? It shows how our community could be impacted. That was Chief Vanessa Adams. Do we have that posted? Nothing yet. There's not going to be a real big impact, right? Everything's still going as is. Yeah. But we'll work to get that put on there. Number 4, is Nathan Richards still in charge of all previous files he was before? This is for Chief Cindy Francis Mitchell, and the response is Nathan Richards remains on all the files that he was on prior to the recent election. Example, MCA Claim, nation building, self-government agreements, negotiations, etc. So everything that he was on, he is still continuing to be on right now. Number 5, what are the numbers of investigations or lawsuits filed against MCA in the last 3 years from January to present? I did meet with a community member individually on this to try and explain some of that process. We don't have all that information right now, but I did meet individually saying, you know, there is that 8-day process to go through and to follow that and let me know how things go. Number 6, why is the standard CBSA question not being used? That was for Grand Chief. So Grand Chief stated a meeting is happening with CBSA and we'll raise it then. We did meet with CBSA, the port, but we had met with the Quebec side because we are looking at doing a remission order on the Quebec port of entry, something kind of similar to the Cornwall port, so that we gave them a heads up. They're gonna see an increase in traffic due to health and stuff like that. So we're doing works with them, but that question was not asked to the Cornwall port. But we will follow up with that and see what they have to say when we do meet them. And that's it for our action items. Let's see. Okay, we have our first presentation. This one's on the communications protocol. So in your packets, if you go to the communications protocol, this is something that the communications department and council has been working on, where we're looking at trying to be more transparent and all of that to connect with the community to council and make sure that we're all on the same page. So with that, I'm going to invite our communications manager, Shannon Rompoy, to come up and she can explain this. And again, this is something where it's a new initiative coming through. It's just in draft, it's consultation. So we would like to hear from you if you think this is gonna work, or if you have tips or information. So it is not set in stone. This is everything. We're right at the start here, making it happen.
There you go. I'm Shannon Roundpoint, the Associate Director of Communications, and today we're happy to share with you the Council Communications Protocol, which is a guide that outlines how Council will communicate their work with you to promote transparency and accountability and to ensure that you have the information you need about their work. The goal of the written protocol is to maximize the use of tools and processes already that we have in place, while also introducing new tools and processes to provide consistent information between council and the community. My communications team and I hear the issues that the community brings forward to council about their communication and reporting. Over the years, we have heard you say you want consistent travel reports from chiefs, as well as written monthly reports as examples. Hearing these suggestions has sometimes led to a temporary improvement of communication in a specific area, but without a solid framework, it's challenging to maintain consistency. A written protocol will help to maintain processes over time, regardless of changes made at election time. We've added new processes to how council communicates, like a general meeting summary that will be shared with the community for those who can't attend or take the time to watch a lengthy video. But we have also captured the work that's already being done and working well, such as the report of council's weekly Monday meetings that has been ongoing for several years now. Council fully supports the adoption of this protocol. It's a priority for them to have strong communication with you. We've begun implementing parts of the protocol already, and our final step is to give the community an opportunity to provide your feedback and comments. I'll provide a brief overview of the protocol. The purpose of the protocol, as I already mentioned, is to standardize the processes for council communications to ensure the community is kept informed and that council is equipped with the tools and processes needed to promote their initiatives, support engagement, and prioritize transparency. The protocol is a resource and a guide. It can be modified as needed. Communication channels are ever changing as technology evolves, and we have to keep up with those updates as they happen. So section 1 in your packet is the MCA website, and I'm going to go through this section a little bit quickly because we go into more detail about each item in the pages ahead. But the website has already been updated to include more information than it previously has. So it will have the Meet the Chief section, which includes their name, phone number, and their email address so that you can easily reach them. It will also include a general meeting section, which will include the recording from these meetings, as well as the new general meeting summary report. The council weekly meeting report from their Monday meetings is also newly going to be on the website. And by the way, those items highlighted in yellow are things that are brand new. The council chief's monthly reports are now going to be in the website. Previously, they were handed out to you at this general meeting, but there was nowhere for people not at the meeting to read those on a month-to-month basis. And a new item is council chief travel reports. We've also updated the website chief section with the ethical conduct law and the political service agreement. The next section is the MCA General Meeting. So in the past, we've been doing the general meeting recording for several years. What's new is that we're now going to be doing a meeting report. So the Mohawk government staff is taking notes, and they're specifically going to do a summary that summarizes the topics of discussion, the action items, and the questions that they receive for follow-up. This will be published on the website so that people who can attend can get a quick summary of what was discussed here. The next section is MCA district meetings. Historically, these have been very informal meetings, and while the chiefs do want to keep it that way, providing a short summary of what's discussed there will encourage your district members to attend and stay involved with the issues at hand. So we've developed a template down in the back at Appendix B that will provide them with an easy to use template to just simply report what the topics were discussed The council weekly meetings, which to clarify is the meeting that's held every week by council, usually on a Monday. Once in a while, it's on a different day. And every week, the chair of that meeting, usually the grand chief, will provide a short summary of that meeting that includes the topics of discussion and the MCRs passed. This has been ongoing for several years and is a very valuable tool for the community to keep informed. Section 5, the council monthly reports. As I stated previously, chiefs sometimes do monthly reports, but they weren't reaching a broad audience. So we're just ensuring that there is a place for those to be located, and they'll also be printed in our newsletter every month on a rotating basis. So there's a schedule for each chief to have a turn for their full report to be in the newsletter. We wouldn't have the print space to do all of them, so that's why we're doing it on a schedule. Section 6 is the council travel reports, which is one of the more fun items that's added to this list, but council does a lot of traveling, as you know, different meetings and conferences that they have to attend, and it can sometimes be difficult for them to get that information back to us. So the travel report template is a way for them to easily connect with communications and make sure that the information is getting back to you. It'll say where they went, why they went there, anything that was accomplished at this event or meeting, and what to look for in the future. There's also space in the template for photos if there were photo ops taken. And the whole point of this is to make it easy to do. Nothing is to be too burdensome that it doesn't continue to happen. We really want to maintain consistency and make it as simple as possible so you can get the information. The Ungwadaga newsletter, so that's not a new item, but what is new will be the general meeting summary report will be published in there, as well as the council travel reports, which are it's a picture-friendly template. And just as a reminder, we keep the newsletter going in print because it reaches those at their households, those people who maybe aren't on social media or the website. They can get a copy in their mailbox. And just a reminder, right now, due to the postal strike, the newsletter this month won't be delivered to every household. We will have it for distribution at the holiday dinners. Section 8, CKON. This was originally thought that it could possibly be a monthly Dedawatalo. We needed time to figure out the logistics of how that might work. The Dedawatalo can only accommodate 2 or 3 guests, and so council just wanted to have more time to discuss the logistics and how we could use the radio to our advantage to get communication out on a regular basis. Email, we are just ensuring that community members have access to council by email. So if you go onto the Meet the Chiefs tab on the website, you'll find all of their email addresses, and you're welcome to email them with your questions or concerns. Section 10 is video messaging, and this isn't new, but it's just putting it in here so we have a defined process. When there are emergency situations or important events or a significant holiday, our grand chief or another chief that is assigned will come to you in a video message, and the communications team will work with them to make sure that happens. This was particularly useful when we had lengthy power outages in the last couple of years. We summarized the emergency things that were available to the community, such as shelters, food giveaways, and things like that. And the grand chief went on air, on video, and presented that information to you. And so by putting it in this protocol, we just ensure that that will continue to be a priority, happen when we need it to. Section 11, statements and press releases. Most of this already happens all the time. We do statements and press releases all the time. What's different is we're going back to an old use of a letterhead that says from the office of the Grand Chief and Council when there's a specific statement that is coming from the political body of MCA rather than from the organization, so that you can differentiate that this is a statement being made by council versus an announcement of some kind in general. 2 things to note: we are in the process of developing an MCA portal. There's still much to be discussed on what that will entail and what the main needs are for it. But we have planning meetings for that, and if it is an item that the community really wants, then that's what we're going to create. And some of the items within this protocol would then be moved to to the portal instead of to the public website. We also previously had an MCA News show that we're looking at revamping and recreating as another tool to get information out to you from council and the organization. The remaining pages of the document just contains templates of all that I've mentioned before. So feel free to look at those, and they're just small versions of the social media graphics that we'll use to promote some of this information. So with that, I welcome your feedback or comments. Can you please state your name and your district?
Okay, can you hear me? Okay, so why did you just ask me where I live? Let's get to that.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
I said, why did you just ask me where I live?
The Grand Chief introduced that as a new item for this meeting.
What does it matter? I don't know.
Yeah, council, when council has these sessions, they want to know who's talking to them and where they're coming from. But we had an information session last Saturday that was open to the whole community, and everyone was invited and stuff like that. That's where a lot of discussion, information was shared, but now council wants to hear when there's people talking, who is coming from which district, so then they know who to respond to. So then if someone needs to follow up, then they're gonna connect with you. That's what it's about, connecting to the right people.
Yes. Anyway. When you're talking about council travel, I said, how come you don't add a space on there that says, what they procured in their travel? And, you know, what they got, what the community got for spending thousands of dollars to send it to British Columbia or wherever else. Why can't you add that onto that part?
Yeah, we can look into adding that. We'll discuss that further. Thank you for that comment.
Okay, the other one. Monday meetings. Why can't they be, why can't we watch the Monday meeting? You know, I know there's, names and, other things discussed, but there's a way to wash that all out and use numbers or whatever it is to code it. But why can't we see these chiefs, working and what's done at a Monday meeting? Because a lot of us would probably want to see and be a fly on the wall and seeing our millions and millions of dollars at work.
And
That's a good question. So a lot of these procedures and stuff were MCR, right? So when we come in, we have to follow the MCR and how it states we have to conduct ourselves. But here's the thing, if these things aren't working and things need to be changed, this is where I would say, go to your district meetings, talk to portfolios and have those discussions and start talking about that. Because then those MCRs could be changed to accommodate and make it win, right? And again, when those are occurring, make sure like it's a good, healthy discussion. You know, so then everyone can get that feedback and look at changing it. But right now, because anything that's MCR, it has to be followed, and there's no deviation from that MCR. We're just letting you know that's how you would go about it. How to start having those talks.
Because the last council, the last Grand Chief, he stated, I wish that you people could see inside these Monday meetings and see how the chiefs act. So, is there something that we don't want to see? Or, I mean, is there something that council doesn't want the community to see in those meetings, like behavioral wise?
I don't know what that is. I can't speak to that. But again, if this is something that the community wants, then go to your district meetings, start talking with the chiefs, and start explaining those things and ask those questions. And also offer solutions on how it would work. You know, so if there's issues and stuff like that, bring it up and have those talks there. Then they bring it to the table and then council makes a decision. And when they MCR that, and then those are again, are my marching orders. It's all of our marching orders. That's the process.
Okay, last one. District meetings, you, in here, you, say that you wanna report or, you know, something concerning the district meetings, like what happens at the meetings, blah, blah, blah. I said, but they're very informal meetings where the community is allowed to have a very, you know, one of those conversations directly with your chiefs. And you don't want that, to go outside of your district, right? And, so I believe that they should be kept informal, where there's no record of the meeting, there's no, because there are directors who are punishing employees for what's said at district meetings. So if there's a record of that, how do you feel like the weaponization of the words said at district meetings, an informal setting, is used against employees? Because it's a fact that employees are punished for speaking their mind at a closed informal meeting.
So thank you for that. That's the type of feedback that we're looking for from the community. And if there's others who want to speak at their district meetings with their district chiefs about how they feel about that item, that's what this presentation is exactly for, so that they can have that input. So we can have further discussion on that. Just a note on that, though, it is a short summary of the district meeting, not a detailed record of who said what, just for your consideration. Any other questions or comments? Thank you.
Now, Shannon and communications. Okay, so the next item we have is our New York State claim. So we have our lawyer Frank Solomon on Zoom, who's going to be joining us, and he's going to be sharing the presentation that he shared on Saturday. So for anyone that missed it, he's going to go through those things and what the current settlement is about and any of those things that are in a part of it. And if you have questions, we can wait till he gets done, and then this will go around, we'll do our 5-minute things, and you can get to ask your questions at that time. Hello, Frank, can you hear us?
He's muted. Just
Is
give it,
he-
just give us a second to switch
we
the
need a
audio.
second to
Yeah.
get him online?
Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, Frank is joining us. He's away on travel right now with his family, but he's put down his turkey and he's gonna actually zoom in with us and make sure we get our questions answered.
No, that's what I'm trying
Did everyone get a copy of the presentation in their packages? If not, you can let us know. We can make sure you get one.
to do.
Let me
In
know
there-
if you can hear me.
Slides, it also contained the aerial presentation that occurred on Saturday as well. So that's the part of the history piece. So that goes with this. And you're gonna see our monthly reports in there too. And again, council is committed to being transparent, and this is why we're developing these things. And I was really excited with communications looking into the community portal. Again, we don't have it determined, is it gonna call it a member portal, community portal and that stuff, but it is being worked on, so we're gonna hopefully get that going as soon as we can. That one's I'm really excited about. That's gonna allow us to do so much things and share a lot of information going forward.
Frank?
Yes, can you hear me?
Just missed it. I can hear you, but I don't know if everyone can hear you. Can you try again?
Hello, can everyone hear me?
Take care. You want me to move this so it doesn't? It's not the static. It's just not loud enough. I don't know how to get this on. Just a second, Frank.
Okay,
All right, it just takes a little minute here, little minute. They're trying to get them connected so they can hear and speak to us. Test, Frank, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me? Can hear you.
Oh. Just can't find it. Can you go on Zoom on there too, put them up there? Yeah.
He called this techno stress. When you have technology and it stresses you out, it's actually a real thing now. So if you Google it, you know, you'll find all kinds of remedies and help heal yourself from it. He created this technology to help create efficiency and make life better, but it also does create some issues as we go.
Frank, say something.
Can everyone hear me?
Oh, it's
How much does what?
for a second.
It looks like people on the Zoom can hear me, but I guess they can't hear me in the auditorium.
Okay, Frank, say
The
something.
general meeting minutes from
Hey, can everyone hear me?
2024.
So they can
So
hear this.
looking at that, do we have a motion to accept the meeting minutes? Okay, for the record, we have Chief Teresa Opes. We have a second.
Do what?
Chief Joanne. Discussion.
I don't know.
All in favor?
I guess we'll figure out, see how loud it is.
Okay. All right, we have carried 11-4. Carried. The next one we have is our announcement. Holiday dinners. So we are looking at some holiday dinners. All right, so I don't know if you guys had a chance to see this, but they're gonna be doing some holiday dinners. There is a flyer here. It's for community holiday dinners. The Mohawk Council Akwesasne welcomes community members to attend the annual community holiday dinners. Dinners held from 5 to 7 each evening. The first one's gonna be Monday, December 9th.
This is
Kentenhkó
working.
Recreation.
This is working, yeah.
Wednesday, December 11th, Kawanoge Recreation Center, and Thursday, December 12th, Justine Recreation Center. So again, this is for the community. Did we gotta cook this? Oh, what do I have to do? Do I gotta be here? Right, do I get to eat? Oh, I gotta serve food?
I have it on the max, I think.
Okay.
We'll just see. It hasn't really.
So we're gonna have our meals, again, pass it along, look forward to seeing when they
If
ever
it's
there.
not loud enough,
And I
then
know the
maybe
council's
try
gonna
to
be
do that.
sharing information too that night, so they're gonna be giving out information. And if you have questions for council, you can talk with them, they're gonna be available walking around. So
Maybe
again,
try
it's
that.
about trying to provide updates and keep everyone on the
And
same
it will
page.
connect to those. Yeah. That'll be way better.
Okay, so that pretty much takes care of those pieces. Are we good? Frank, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
As loud as it goes. Yeah, we could hear you, Frank.
Okay, for those that are just coming in. This is Frank Holloman, the MCA lawyer for the New York State Land Claims, and he's gonna present the information he presented on Saturday. It's gonna be the same type of stuff for anyone that missed it, and then we're gonna do our questions. He's done.
Okay,
Alright, Frank.
great. Yeah, can you hear me in the hall there?
Can everyone hear? We good?
All
Yeah.
right.
Thanks, Frank.
Excellent. Great. Well, thank you, Grand Chief, and thank you, council, and thank you for the membership for giving me the time in your meeting today to present on the settlement. My name's Frank Holloman. I'm a partner at the law firm Sonosky Chambers, Zach Anderson and Perry. Our firm has been representing MCA in the land claim since it was first filed in 1982. And I've been on this file for several years now, working both in the litigation in the federal court and also the efforts to settle the litigation. And what I'm going to present today is focused on the settlement agreement. I'll also provide some information on how it relates to the litigation so that you all can have as much information as we can provide you about what this settlement accomplishes, in relationship to litigation. What I'd like to do now is share my screen and put my PowerPoint up for you so that you will be able to see it and follow along with my discussion. I think that ought to be up now. So first, let me say that the information that I talk about with you tonight is protected by confidentiality measures, and it's only for members of the community. It's protected by a mediation agreement between the parties in the land claim litigation. I've had some questions about why sovereign governments entered into a mediation agreement. The mediation agreement actually implements an order of the federal court that applies to all litigants in any case, whether they're sovereign or not. And the settlement mediation agreement actually gives us more flexibility to share information than we'd otherwise have under the order. So the information I'm providing you today is allowed to be provided under that agreement. And we specifically requested provision to provide information with the community in the litigation mediation settlement agreement. So this information should be kept confidential within the community.
Is that correct? So with that, I think it's time to wrap this up. I mean, again, the information's out there. If you want to have them come talk to your house, they're going to all their houses and they're keeping track of that. I know some people in this room right now that they went to their house. I'm not gonna name names, but it's happening because this council is taking that serious. So with that, again, I thank you for that. Council, do we have a motion to adjourn? We have Chief Teresa Oaks and second by Vince. Discussion? Question, all in favor? Carried. All right, have a good night, guys. We're gonna do our closing. Someone come on do our closing? We can still say it before we leave, Kana? Have a good night. Drive safe, everyone.
Thanks for lending a hand.
No.